This is FYI on your TV, brought to you by Hometown News. I'm Kathy Botham, and I've got my co-host Robbie Hull back with me. How you doing, Robbie?
I'm very good. There, Kathy, how are you?
I'm doing really well, really well. I'm going to throw the show over to you, though. Who's your guest today?
My guest today is Jeff Winkenweder. We have been talking to many people about build of melting of food. Jeff has been volunteering for a long time too. Thank you for joining us today, Jeff.
You're very welcome, Rob. Glad to be here.
When did you start volunteering with Build a Mountain of Food?
Well, Build a Mountain of Food would have been the very first year they started it. I got a phone call that they were looking for people to work 2-hour slots. And once they realized what they were doing, I said, no, can't do that. I said, I will be there for the day. So we've done that since day one. So it's been a few years, a lot of good people working with me out there.
Which location in Smith Falls do you volunteer at?
At Andrus's, your independent grocer.
When you volunteer, you stay all day too. Can you talk about your day at our independent grocery store?
Certainly. Now, a few years ago, Cheryl Johnson, who was my sidekick for the day, we started having a little competition to see who could get out there early. So I'm usually out there between 7 and 7:30. I want to greet any early customers coming in, help them get set up, get ready for the day. And then as business picks up, we get busy. We have a few more volunteers that stop by. And we try to hang in there until the last of the bags are sold that Andrus has put together for us, which I think has been somewhere around 1,200, I think, a year. So some years we're lucky and we're sold out by 4:30 or 5, and other years we have a few left over, which is fine, and Andrus has continued to sell them for the next day or two until they're gone.
If you are a customer and would like to make a donation, how can you do that?
Good question. There are many ways to make a donation. Now, I am always parked outside with a cart of groceries that we sell as well. So as people are coming into the store, if they have cash in their pocket, I can take their cash and put a bag in the wagon for them. They can buy them in the store. Fortunately, in the past, they've also been able to use their PC points to buy these bags for the food bank. Or there are cash donations. We have a lot of people that just offer cash. You can write a check to the food bank. Many different ways to make a donation to the food bank.
You must have some special stories that happen over the years. Can you tell us a couple of them?
There are probably lots of stories. Now, two that come to mind. One year, Cheryl Johnson is always on the mic. She's always talking to the customers, and one year she came up with a really special plan, and that was, today only, we're selling the bags for $10 a piece, but for the next 2 hours, you can buy 2 for $20. And the cashiers were telling us how customers that had one bag I can get 2 for $20, and they were going back out and getting a second bag. And it caused quite a little stir, but it also brought a lot of humor into what we were doing. So that's my favorite story. The other ones we have were, one year, we have a lot of less fortunate people living in town, and this young man showed up on his bicycle, went into the store, came out with a loaf of bread for himself, and dropped us off a bag of food. Got back on his bicycle and went home. Those little stories touch your heart every time you're there.
Yeah.
Why do you volunteer at Build a Mountain of Food every year?
It's an opportunity to give back, Rob. It's something that I think we can all do. I started it when I worked in Ottawa long before Build a Mountain started here. I worked at Herb Transport, and we used to receive skids of food from the Toronto Food Bank for Smiths Falls Food Bank. And One day my driver was making a delivery and they couldn't take everything he had. So it came back to the office and a light bulb went off and I said, why don't I just bring it down at night when you have space for it? And that started a relationship over the next probably 10, 15 years where we did that out of the warehouse in Ottawa. And also my dad, who was a good mentor, he voluntarily ran the Rideau Ski Club for 35 years, and I thought, well, if he can do that, I can do my little piece here. I mean, I just do a little bit. There are many, many volunteers at Build a Mountain.
Smith Falls has their Build a Mountain of Food this year on Saturday, November 25th. The weather on our day changes every year. You always wear a special Christmas sweater every year. Have you got one this year for this year too?
Not yet. I'm on the hunt. I still have 2 weeks to go. I always start out with my grumpy t-shirt. And this is one that a good friend of the family got me years ago when she was at Disney in Florida with her grandkids. She saw the sweater and thought of me. Not that I'm grumpy. Okay, that's the last thing I am. And it was more of a joke. But I do start wearing it out in the morning. I'm grumpy until all the bags are sold, and then we'll put on another t-shirt.
Thank you, Jeff, for joining us today. Thank you for your volunteer at Build a Mountain of Food every year too.
My pleasure, Rob, and thank you for having me.
Now, you say you've been volunteering since it started. This is the 17th year, Jeff.
That's hard to imagine.
Yeah.
Where the time has gone is crazy.
Yeah.
You know.
So it's been 17 years you've been volunteering with Build a Mountain of Food, and it's going to be in Smith Falls on November 25th, like you were saying. It's also going to be at Giant Tiger, the Garden Market, and Food Basics on that day, as well as Independent.
Yeah.
We've got great supports from our community. It's amazing. You guys are amazing over at Independent. You spend the whole day there, you and Cheryl, but you inspire people as they go in, and people are coming out with bags full of food. Like, it's just amazing what happens over there.
That's why I'm there early. I want to remind them when they're going in, I'll be out here when you come out.
That's right. That's right.
No, for sure.
And you can give money donations. You can give a loaf of bread. That's
Absolutely.
Anything is
Absolutely.
appreciated.
No,
That's
for
right.
sure.
That's right. Well, we thank you for everything you've done for Build a Mountain of Food and everything else you do. You're a pretty special guy around Christmas time. We hear
My pleasure.
And all year round too. So thank you very much for joining us. And Robbie, once again, thanks for joining us here.
You're very welcome, Kathy.
My co-host here on FYI. Thanks for joining us.